check the oil, just have a quick walk around. It's Thursday, there's allegedly snow outside. Is there snow outside? Never is in Warrington. Look at that, there's no snow. Believe these weathermen. Right, the Himmy's going out today. She's been screaming at me, take me out, take me out. So that is what we're doing. Like on fuel on it, full tank of juice, and she's not been ridden for a good 2 weeks. Is it a good 2 weeks? The ride to work video. And the Royal Enfield. I must start reading the and now I'm looking for the DCT. Get my mirrors in place. I still haven't replaced these. I do love that dash. That dash is just, I like that better than the NC dash. The NC dash don't do anything for me. That one does. Just fabulous. Because I'm old and I like old style sort of things. Here we go. Chuck, 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 chuck. Off we go. Hello you lovely tubers. We're on the slug on the way home. We come out this morning. We've done a little bit on it. Decide how I'll edit the video, whether I'll show you the morning riding or the evening one, or a bit of both, eh? And people asking how's it going. Well, I still love it. And I've got a little bit of a trip to do down to Barnard Castle next week, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to meet another fellow subscriber, and this subscriber's buying an NC. He's joining the Honda 750 NC cult with a bit of luck. We don't know yet, we think he's going to convert. So welcome on board, Stephen. I'm going to let him have a ride on my bike, and I'll be very surprised if he ain't got a big Cheshire grin smile on his face once he's riding it. Now, he said to me he's looking at getting the manual version, which I've not ridden the manual version. So Warren in Honda Yules, come on mate, get me a ride out on one. God, it's a bit bumpy down here, isn't it? Yeah, so really looking forward to that. And more than anything, it's a nice ride out. I haven't had a good ride on my NC for a while, so I'll have done all the brakes and the service by the time I go down there. For people who don't know where Barnard Castle is, it's going towards the Newcastle way. Absolutely fabulous roads up there. So fabulous roads out there. Look at that, letting a police officer out. It's good of me, considering I slate him so much. Not their faults really, they only do mock the toll. Yeah, so see if he enjoys it, see what he thinks. And I'll tell you something, it's colder today, it's colder now than it was this morning. Now it's meant to snow today, and we've not had a glitch of it. So that'll be great, another NC rider out on the road. Be very surprised, like I say, we're not going to have one. And sent a quick chat to Gaz from the Crony Biker, saying get some videos out. He hadn't done any for a while. He's got quite good stuff. Oh, look at this, we're keeping up with a Tesla. Hey, wow. So the Himalayan is faster than what you think, the 411. I've well underrated it. MotoGP coming soon. And you know something? It's weird when you ride between a DCT and manual bike, because it's like this morning I was getting on it. I was looking for the paddles, and I'm thinking, where's the paddles gone? Oh shit, I'm on the Himmy. In fact, I'll tell you what we're going to do today. I need to do it anyway. Due to being ill, I ended up cancelling the service on my Himmy, so I think we'll have a ride down to NC750 Moto. They just love seeing my face in there. See Colin, and I'll see the service department, and I'll get this booked in for a service. So doing about 3 weeks time. But the usual trip home, down the 56, onto the M6, over the viaducts, off, and we go down the Manchester Road, because we're going to go to NC750 Moto. And they may have something decent in there. Watch Gilly's bikes now and again. Gilly does all their reviews on the motorcycles for them. Dead basic, but that's all it needs to be, you know, no lies. Just ride the bike and that's it. Tell them what you think. And I was thinking to myself today when I was riding in on this morning, and I was thinking, you know, if you was going to do a bit of off-roading and a bit of odd bits, this is as good as any GS 1300. Because if you drop it, you know, you're not bankrupt. Not that the people who buy the GSs are short of a few quid. Because let's not kid yourself, people who do buy them, you've got to have some longer to run them anyway. Because it's not even buying them. I called in yesterday, and I've got it on video, I've not put it out yet. I called into BMW, just for on the ride home on the NC, had a chat with the manager. 40 BMWs, 40 GS 1300s out this month. Well, out last month, sorry. They've sold. So they're doing a lot better than what I thought they'd have done. I thought, you know, the 1250, I mean, had a real good write-up. And when I was walking in there, I was walking round, and you know, you're seeing 2023 1250s second hand at £12,700. So what would you do really? Would you, you know, are you going to pay £12,700 for a used BMW, or are you just going to pay 13 grand and get a brand new one? Now, I've not ridden the GS 1300, and to be honest, even if I did ride it, I'd probably enjoy it. It's like the GS 850. I did really like the GS 850. When you put that in dynamic mode, I did really enjoy it. Just a little bit high for me, just a bit too tall. But let's face it, look at us now. We're doing 60 on the motorway. We're trundling along, and we're getting a lot more fuel economy out of this. You know, we're probably getting 60s out of this Himmy. A simple bike to service, and it is a lovely, lovely bike to ride. It's like, maybe it's me, maybe I buy Marmite bikes because people love them or hate them. And I suppose for me, I'm not really interested in 130 mile an hour bikes anymore. You know, you get on them like my nephew's MT09, what a beast. What an absolute beast of a bike. If you want to go fast, get yourself an MT09, you'll go fast. And you know, I must nick it off him and try and do a proper review on it, because it is a beautiful bike, but you're just going to lose your license on it, because if I got on that bike and it was my daily rider, I'd want to be turning it everywhere on it, and you'd be turning it without even trying. You would just, honest to God, you just touch the throttle on it, and you're in Tesla world, you're in SpaceX, you're just going. So what the new R1s, I mean, in my day when I had the R1s, the Thunder Aces and Thundercats, what they're like now, I mean, I don't think they're much faster, but just because of the dynamic throttle, the fly-by-wire throttles, they just feel as though they're getting there a lot quicker. If you're an ex-R1 rider, or GSX, or CBR rider, 1000, and you've got a new one from the old one, give us a comment and let me know. Do you prefer the old one, or do you prefer the new one? Look at that, I'm doing 65 mile an hour here, going downhill, and the wind's against me. This is just quick, this bike. I say, I get on it, and I'd be quite happy to have that dash on the NC. I absolutely love it. It's just, it's wonderful. And what we're out there, 8C, it's not 8C out here, I can tell you that for now, people. It's colder than that. And saying that, I'm warm, I can feel it on my face. You tend to know how cold something is by your face. And it's one of them, I keep debating whether to put heated grips on it, but they're absolutely chocolate. They're no use with these gloves on. With my gloves and my layered gloves inside, I can't feel heat come through them, and my hands are warm. Sun spreading, oh, the snow or the ice must be coming. And the other thing, what's going on, I'm out this weekend again. I'm out with another gentleman who rides and has got a bigger YouTube channel than me. I'm out with Solo Moto. Now our Derek has a GS850. Done a cracking video on cleaning it and putting all the glossy stuff on it to make it last longer. Done a lot to it. So we're going to meet up and we're going to do a visit to a calf and review it. Now, Derek's got massive followings on Google itself. He does a lot of reviews, and one of his views is over 1 million views on it. So he knows his food, our Derek does. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to sit with him and see what he thinks, and I'm going to chat to him, and I'm going to make a suggestion that we do a new type of marking. We're going to mark it still out of 10, but in a different way, and see if people like it. And you never know, it may take off. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a cracking day out, and that's round Buxton. So I'm having a ride round that way on Saturday morning, no matter what the weather, as you know, with me. Look at it now. And do you know, this morning I come in via the 62 and through Old Trafford and that way, well, through Stretford, and I've got to say, I prefer it. The only reason why I do this is because there's no traffic lights and it's just easier, but it's always really, really windy. Said it over and over again. They took down thousands of trees that were lined down these motorways. This is what these highways have done, and they've created massive wind traps. This I can remember years ago coming down here on bikes when it weren't a smart motorway, and you just didn't have what you've got now. You didn't have any of this crosswinds. You've got really strong crosswinds, and this, to be honest, this Him is holding up well on it. It's not as good as the NC. You still get pulled a little bit about on this. I think I had the worst crosswinds on the NC going over the high level bridge last week. That was absolutely horrendous. So the Hemi, as you can hear, is just chugging along. I still don't like the mirrors. I've had it since Christmas. I've not changed them yet. They will get changed. You can see out with them like there, but it's like you have to move your whole body to do it. So how many more of you are out in this weather on your bikes then? Or again, all fair weather riders? Scared of getting them dirty? That's the worst thing actually, when you bring your bikes out in this weather, because salt does really corrode your bike. And I was looking, when I was looking around my bike, my NC, when I cleaned it, not only is the stand really rusty now and getting stiff, but my chain is rusted and it's quite badly corroded, so I'm going to have a look at that. It's still fine, it's still lubricated, but lots of rust on it. So I think I may do a little video on cleaning up my chain and get that up back to standard. But you're never going to stop it. If you ride in the wet, if you ride in the salt, you've got gravel and all sorts of bits hitting it. You know, it's working as hard as your chain is. All that you can do is try and protect it. Now, people use different things. I was talking to Tom when we were talking about it the other day. I think he uses like a wax on his. I've used wax that and lube, and I've used engine oil. I'm not being funny, people don't believe it, but get a rag with engine oil on it and run your chain through the engine oil. You're lubricating your chain, because that's all it is keeping it lubricated. Well, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Now I believe there's another is it BSA out? More new bikes out. Royal Enfield are doing more stuff. Be interesting when the new Hemi comes into the showrooms. I wonder if Into Moto have got them in, or whether they're coming. I think they're coming in about March time, so I believe. Now, I did call into BMW because I got rumours they had a GS 900 in their Adventure, but they haven't. They said it's not been released yet, so I've only seen it at the show. But I'm really hoping, to be honest, this year. I said I'm not going to go to the motor show again, NEC Birmingham. I was quite disappointed with it, but I probably will. I just hope Honda have made a few improvements on the NC750. I hope they not just done a colour change on it. You know, it's like I hope they've done the screen on it. I hope they listen to people, done the brakes on it, done an improvement on the brakes, putting that extra disc on the front. But now this is controversial for you, because I get loads of people as well say it's just a big scooter. And they say that because it's an automatic, it's a DCT. Well, it's not really a scooter, because a scooter is truly twist and go. A scooter does not have gears. You just pull the throttle back and it goes. With the Honda NC, you have got gears. So you have got a six-geared automatic gearbox on it. Which allows you to go through your pedals on the gearbox and either go into manual mode or leave it in full auto, but it's still using gears. So for all you people that say it's a scooter to use, because it isn't. It is a DCT gearbox. And to even cheer you up even more, all you haters of it, I thought I'd put it in there because you do get it. The dual clutch transmission gearbox was designed for racing motorcycles to make it quicker to shift so that they could win the races quicker. So there we have it. You want to check it up, go on MotoGP, you'll see it. A TDM 900. Now that's one bike I was looking at buying, and I bought the CBF 1000 in place of it. So that when I get back to doing my bikes and manual, that is one bike I'm going to buy, because another underrated motorcycle. It's a twin again, and probably I think the NC has probably come off that. So getting back onto a few things it'd be nice to see happen to the NC for me. One is that dash. That, honestly, the dash is dull as dishwater for me. The more I look at it, the more, you know, I just think it is cheap, it's dull as dishwater. They could spend another £100 on it and put it onto the cost of it and put a more colourful dash on it. Give it a bit of colour. They had more colour on the pre-20 model than they've got on this one. And for me, the brakes, I'd actually bring the rear foot brake up onto the handlebars, just the same as a scooter. It's amazing how much you enjoy it. You know, if you've never ridden a scooter, once you get used to riding it and your both brakes are on the handlebars, I quite enjoy it more than the foot pedal, and I do. Let me know in your comments, what do you think? You know, having your having both your brakes as your levers on the handlebars. Do you think you'd like it? Because I'm telling you from fact, because I've owned a maxi scooter and I still own one. I own a Bergman, and I quite enjoy that. I think you've got even better control over your braking, and especially if you've got a bike where you haven't got a clutch. I'm not saying get rid of your clutch and put it there. And it's always one of them. God, it's windy. It's always one of them where we're talking about more brake horsepower on the NC. I can live with what power it's got because it's got ample, and the power that's on it is enough to make you appreciate it. So if I want to go fast, I can go fast, but it's not got a super bike performance. But it is not a super bike. So if you're getting on the NC, you know, to think, right, I'm getting on the Hornet, I'm getting on something. Once you get to 5,000 revs, you're going like the clappers. That bike isn't like that. It'll beat the Hornet from 0 to 60, 0 to 70 with the pure torque it's got. And it'll keep up with most bikes. The top end will fade away from 90 onwards, it'll start dropping off. But if you use the pedals, you've got more than enough juice on that bike to get you around. Absolutely more than enough juice. So yeah, if you put more power on it, you take the fuel economy away from it, I think. and maybe you take that bit of character away from it. Bit like I've said with this Himalayan. I don't know why I like this Himalayan, because the new one on paper is better. Don't so much like the looks of the new Himalayan. I don't think it's the same bike. Well, it isn't the same bike, it's not the same engine. You know, it's not the same gearbox, it's water cooled. All the characteristics of why people like this bike is because of its brake horsepower, because of its the way it puts itself across, the way it rides. It's not looking to beat anything, and that's the thing about the 411 Hemi. And I was looking, should have put a new cam on it to give it more power. It doesn't need it. It really just doesn't need it. Look at us, we've just rode now down 2 motorways, which people say this bike can't do motorways. It's nonsense. It can go anywhere. It can literally go anywhere. Most of your bikes that you have nowadays can go anywhere. They can do anything. It's down to your ability and what you can do on that bike. And it's quite hard to get it out. Marketing has taken over our lives. You know, we watch things and we think we must have that because that's better than that is. And a prime example, when I was walking around the BMW dealer, some fabulous bikes in there. Brand new 1250s, I think they were, 1200s. Part X for another bike, weren't even a year old. If you've got a bike, I believe you've got to give your bike a chance. Don't buy a bike for 3 months. Unless your intention is, it's like my older bikes, what I wanted to do with my older bikes was a quick review, a quick ride on them. The intention wasn't to be stripping them down, what's happening to them. It was a 3-month ownership of it, because it's not my permanent bike. It's not my NC is my 100% permanent bike. And even with this one, my view was, it's not going to be my long-termer. But the more you get on it, the more you enjoy it. And I've got the versatility of a more expensive bike that I really do enjoy getting on the roads and spinning down the lanes, and one I still enjoy going down the lanes, but I don't go as fast. They are different bikes. This Himalayan, beautiful little thing as it is not a Honda NC. There's things about it that don't even come close to the NC, but there's things on this that the NC doesn't beat. And that's what I say. When you get a bike as well, Stephen, who I'm gonna meet, like I said, he can't get a test ride on it. I wouldn't buy a bike without a test ride. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't buy any new bike without a test ride. And your 20-30 minute review on that bike, you may love it. But the only way you really get to know how much you love your bike is by oh, look at that, stops as well. Wow. See, brakes work well on it, and the back are better than the front. A lot of dive on these, you know, as well. You've got a lot of dive when you actually pull your front brake on it. But you learn on your bike. The longer you're on it, the more you truly learn about the good bits and the bad bits. And I think, to be fair, you give a bike a year, within a year, you know 100% whether you even want to keep it. And depends what sort of person you are, because I'm not a person. Some people, like I was watching TMF the other day, 10 years he has his bikes, so he's a person that gets very, very much attached to his bikes. I don't really get attached to my bikes. I love them, make no mistake. You know, I love my NC to bits. But in a year's time, when it's due to come halfway through its contract, if there's another NC that's nicer, or that appears to be, or a get on, I will try it. Or if there's another bike completely, you know, I will never say that the NC or the Himmy will be my lifetime bikers, because that is me, people. That is it in me. That isn't my character. My character has never been cars, motorcycles, and that's why I've had so many of them. I always think I've been brought the variety of life. The variety of life is the spice of life. Trying many different bikes, but I can't honestly say I've hated any of them. You don't hate a bike. They're all, the only bikes you don't like are the ones that are totally unreliable, like my Bergman is. My Bergman's, it was quite funny. I call it the Bergman from hell, but I think I'm going to rename it, because my colleague went, "You shouldn't call it the Bergman from hell. You should call it the Boomerang Bergman, because it keeps on coming back." He's 100% right. It's a boomerang. But even that, I will fix it. I will get that working. And when it goes, whoever gets it, they won't get a duff bike. Because there's nothing in the world worse. And I really hate it. And I feel sorry for dealers like this. People who know they have got a faulty bike, and then they throw it in. You know, I am utterly against that. I totally and utterly disagree with it. And it's like dealers making profits. If dealers didn't make profits, you couldn't go into them. You couldn't test ride the bikes. They wouldn't employ staff. You know, there's lots and lots of things about what dealers and dealerships do that are good. You know, servicing. The more I look at servicing my own bike, for the extra £100, do you think, are you not better off just taking it into the dealership? And, you know, I suppose it's what money you've got in it. How much money you've got free to do that. Oh, they've got a few here. What's going on here? It's a bit of a beastie one, isn't it? Right, let's go and see our lads at Into Moto, see if they've got anything decent. That does look pretty, that, doesn't it? I'm not really into low riders, but that looks pretty, doesn't it? What is it? I don't even know what it is, people. Wow, it looks a bit like the VMAX, doesn't it? It's 1000cc MVP. Never seen one of these, people. That looks a trendy piece of kit, that, doesn't it? Is it Chinese? I'll find out. Hi, bud. What is that?
Oh, it's a new bike we've got coming in. It's an MVP CV1000V.
Wow.
Cracking thing, aren't they?
I've never ever seen one of them.
No, they've only just come out this year. They were at quite show last year. We took them up again this year. We've already had about across the group anyway. There's 4 or 5 pre-orders on them already. They're special, aren't they?
How much are they running out at then?
9.7, I think it is.
Chinese?
MVP, they are Italian. Same as sort
Oh.
of there's a premium brand of Kiwi.
Oh, right, okay.
That's the first one I brought into the UK.
That looks absolutely... You're going to sell them, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you doing anyway? Selling many?
Yeah, I'm trying to, yeah.
Coming to service my bike now.
Yeah, no worries. If you want to chat with Andrew, she'll get you all sorted out.
You right? And then we'll have a walk around. Alright, Chucks. Not too bad. Right, we'll try and get the bike serviced this time now. We'll just knock that off a sec. Thing you've seen, Gilly, because he bought the Rally 300.
You did, yeah.
And I may even still be coming to get one of them, to be
They're a
honest.
good bite, them. They are.
I think to be like a bit the off-road, they're just...
They're a lot more, they're a lot more focused on it anyway. Them, they're definitely more of an off-road machine than they are an on-road. They'll still do the on-road stuff absolutely fine.
Yeah, for little fingers.
Yeah, but that's it. It's more set up for green laning.
Got loads of people chasing on that though. They love the videos on the
Do they? Yeah.
It's called the Slug.
Yes,
Hi,
yeah,
Cole.
remember
You alright? Yeah.
You don't need to do it there because DCT.
Right, we'll just see what I've got. What electric bikes do you have? Yeah, it's...
G1, which is a little electric scooter, and the Easy Mini, which is like a proper tiny little scooter thing. We've sold a few of them to people, putting them in the back of campers and stuff like that.
Yeah, to go.
Yeah, because they only, I think, 50 kilograms they weigh. And you can just a 50cc equivalent. Rick's got one, the techie. yeah, he loves it. Yeah.
Right. I'll have a quick walk and then do one. Cold out there. Are you alright, Cole?
Yeah, not bad.
Busy? That's what we like to hear.
Bikes everywhere.
I know, you're getting fuller and fuller.
Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of photographing and stuff at the moment, so I've got most of them out in my car park.
I like the colour of the Interceptor there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's lovely. Nice light up blue.
Right, bud. See you next time round.
Yeah, see you later.
Ta-ra. Right, people. That is a tidy looking bike, isn't it? Well, it's got a HGV back wheel on it. Right, my people, enough of that. There's an Ash, is it an SV650? Yeah. Suzuki? Now that does more for me. Yeah, it's a 650. Lovely old bikes then. The Enfields, but there's the best one. And that's what happens when you ride your bike in lovely weather. So it's going in for its first service. They're going to service it for us, and we'll go from there. Right, let's jump our stuff back on, get back on the road. Right, back in. I don't know how sometimes the amount of stock they've got in there, how they fit it in, but they do well, and they're a good little dealership. You know, they're dead honest, they're dead fair. There's no nonsense with them, and that's what I like about them. Right, now this is the thing, you go and put your gloves on, and then you put your keys in your pocket, and you can't find where you've put your keys because you've got a jailer's bunch of keys, and that one. And there it is. And that's the thing about these Hemis, they just start on the dot. I mean, I haven't been out on this, I think, about 2 weeks now. And this morning I went in the garage, and I may even put at the front of the video. I went in, off it went, done my quick checks round it. Starts up, got a lovely old sound to it. Right, let's get going. The last few minutes home, over the cobbles. wonderful. I think we'll do a right. Depends what mood you're in, which way you go here, to be honest. I'm pretty certain this used to be called Church Street. Whether they renamed it, I don't know, but I'm pretty certain it was. So going out down Manchester Road now, and we'll head home. And this is it for on a bike in traffic and stuff like this. Fabulous. So that's interesting, that new bike there. The thing is though, how many people will stick their hand in? I mean, 10 grand, I know it looks fabulous, but you don't know it. You don't really know the make of it. I mean, I may be wrong. Click in the comments if you know what they are, because I'd never ever seen one of them at all in my life. First time I've ever seen one. I didn't even remember seeing it at the show, to be honest, when I walked around the show. But it looks really well built. But would you put 10 grand into a Honda or into a Triumph, or would you put 10 grand into that? That's, you know, that is a question that's going to be asked, and that's a question that'll be the answer, how well that bike will do. But undoubtedly, I bet you've got a lot of bike for what it is. Now, which way, straight up, or no? I think we'll go a different way home today. And that's the thing about a bike, you can just choose which way you want to go. And I never get, like I say, it's like even with this helmet, you never get bored of these. You just, for this sort of work, they're just fabulous. They're just absolutely fabulous. And I'll be interested to see what type of service, how the service comes out on it. I'll let you know when it's been in, how it comes out of Into Moto, whether they clean it. I mean, saying that, my bike will go and clean before it goes into them, but whether anything comes of it, if there's any issues that they find. Because the one thing I have noticed, there isn't that many issues on the Himalayan. You know, there's a few gripes that people have, like under power, but I don't think you have, that I know of, many real serious issues on them. They're generally a good, reliable bike that do the job well. It's like I say, even on this, it's like the front brake lets it down a little bit, I think. That's the only, for me up to now, that's the only thing on the Hemi that I can actually say I would change. And you've got other little things like your levers are a bit cheap, but again, you can change them. There's things that are on it that are quite easily changed, and you can't knock it because the cost of it. I mean, it's like I say, a brand new. This is brand new when I bought this at £4,000. You just, and for what it is, it looks well built. It rides absolutely beautiful. It sounds absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at that, I can even beat cars off the mark. So it's not as slow as you think it is. And it's like, a couple of things I did see is like people don't like the tyres on it, the stock tyres. And maybe that's what my bouncing is. You know, when I say now it's got a bouncy feeling up to about 45 mile an hour. But won't it be great when the summer weather comes back round? Say, I would absolutely love it if I could just ride every day. I'd be dead honest. How many of you would be the same if you didn't have to work? I think I'd still be out doing 5-6 hour days on my bike, whatever bike I had. I'd just never get tired of them. I never have. You know, it's not a new thing. And with what they save you, I mean, they do save you. They save you fuel costs, but they don't, because they cost you then thousands to buy the buggers. So it's false economy, isn't it? You know, it's like I say, right, this bike only uses 15 quid a week in fuel, but it's cost me 4 grand. Which really, it's like 45 quid a month. It's, you know, and 15 quid a week, 100 quid a month in fuel and the tax. Well, saying that insurance on it for me is low. It's about £110 a year. It'd probably be different depending on where you are, whether you've got a secure garage. You know, that's relevant to where you are and where your bike's parked, whether you've had accidents. So for me it's cheap. My bikes are quite cheap. Even my Honda NC, I think my policies are all under one. My bikes are under one policy, and all 5 bikes cost me £273, and that's fully comp. So with breakdown cover, so I can't knock it really. My car, my Lexus, cost me 460 quid a year, and it does next to no mileage now really. So I suppose if you had one bike and you owned it, it's like this. If I had this bike, I bought it outright, you know, 60 quid a month to ride to and from work for the distance I travel. It's cheap, isn't it? What are you putting in your car? What are you putting in your GS? And I was amazed actually, Derek from Solo Moto on his 850 GS, he sent me a shot of his MPG on his 850 GS, and he was getting over 100 to the gallon on it. Which, like I say, I seen it with Freddie Dobbs on Tuesday about the NC doing over 100 miles to the gallon. Now I've had 3 NCs, and I've had me 2 previous ones on time showed up to 111 miles per gallon. But I don't truly believe they've done that. I think these bikes hit round about 90, between 75 and 90 miles per gallon on the Honda NC750 is what you're truly getting out of them. And the way I measure it, on a full tank, and when I say full tank, I put premium petrol in mine, so that cost me about £16 to £17 depending per litre what it is, and I get 250 miles. So, and that 250 miles is the bike's then on its flashing line, it's on its reserve, and I think on reserve they've got about 3 litres on reserve, or 2.5 litres. So you're probably getting into the 280s on them NCs. You're getting really good fuel economy on them. I mean, that'd be a good thing. If that's the other thing when I say about Hondas making a bit of improvement, is definitely the fuel filler. It'd be great if they could make the fuel filler so you lifted up the number plate and your filler cap was under there. And it'd be even better if they increase the size of it. Because imagine if they could get another gallon out of space on that NC750. You're into 400 miles, 350, 400 miles to a tank. That then makes that bike an extremely, extremely likeable bike. Yeah, so let me know anyway your thoughts on the Himi and your thoughts on the NC. I'm lucky enough to own them both. My NC is still by far my favourite bike. Is that key bent? That key looks actually bent. Right, there we go. Let's just get her in here. See, even professional stall bikes. There we go. And she's in and we're done. Another safe ride home. NC will be coming in shortly to have some little bits done on her. And it's like this bike as well, they're so easy to move about. There we go. It's that easy. Then with my new lights, I've still got the other two to wire up, and they've got to go in, and they've got to be fastened up, and then we'll have proper lighting in here. I've got new covering on the top there, which is thermal lining. All the doors will be lined, and then it'll start getting cleared out, like I keep on saying. That is my new shocker at the back there for this bad boy, which is, for anyone that wants to know, that is a Kawasaki KLE 500. That's all the frames. Just I've had all the frame powder coated, handlebars, wheels. The engine is at the back there. That's going to come out, get cleaned up, and put back in the next month or so. I'm going to start working on that. My phaser due to be taxed, cleaned up, and rider. Now that is a bike is worth buying. The FZ6 is an amazing touring bike with amazing performance. You know, 130, 140 mile an hour bike, and it gets there quick. And the fairing on that, there ain't much on fairings that beat them. There isn't much on mirrors that beat them. The mirrors are fabulous on them. They're just an absolute lovely bike, and that is a 2006 model. I've replaced all the front fairings on it that were broke and painted it, so can't wait to get out on that. And that's been a long time coming. I've had that nearly a year now, and it's one of them I keep on debating whether I'm going to sell it or I'm going to keep it, because it's a bike. It's another bike. Once you get out and you start riding on it, you just appreciate how good it is. You know, an older bike, and people just have no. If you've never ridden older bikes like them, ride them in your life. In terms of brakes, there isn't much better out there except the blue spots. That better than brakes. They will stop you front and back. and it was a stage where they started doing the exhaust under the seats, and you can change them for really nice cans to go under there. You can really get nice verbals out of them. Not that I like it anymore. I like to have peace and quiet when I'm riding. But yeah, lovely bikes. Right, Birchwood Biker, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ta-ra.